Hello students. I am Sunaina Mishra and I am going to teach you business laws. So today I am going to pick one of the topics in business laws, which is meaning and types of the contract. This is the first topic of your unit 1. So in this class we will discuss in detail the basics of the Indian Contract Act 1872, and I will try to explain before you what is the meaning of the contract and what are the different classifications or what are the different categories in which we can divide the contracts. So, introduction about the Contract Act. So, here I would like to tell you that contract is one of the most important branch of the mercantile law. Mercantile law means the laws which are relating to trade, business, etc. Contract is the foundation which helps the business in carrying out like their functioning in the smooth manner. If contract would not be there, it would have been very difficult for the parties to enter into n number of transaction. It is the contract only by which different parties are able to enter into different kinds of transaction in a easy and possible manner. Contract is such an important aspect of law that it helps and it covers each and every aspect of our life. The time when we wake up in the morning and the time when we go to sleep, in each and every part of our life, contract plays an important role. How? In the morning when alarm wakes you up, so this is a contract between the alarm clock salesman or the company that is manufacturing these alarm clocks and you. So they promised you that this alarm will work in the morning. Similarly, when newspaper is coming at your place, that's a contract between you and the newspaper wala. When you are coming to your college or those who are going to their offices, schools, etc., whenever you are boarding some metro, bus, train, this is also a contract between you and the rider. When you are borrowing books from your library, this is a contract between you and the college. Or for example, it can be any other library for that matter. So other examples or other areas where contract is coming into your life is whenever you are going to buy any grocery, whenever you are going to any restaurants, etc. When you are in college, so you are going to Maharaja canteen. So every time when you are buying something or when you are entering into any kind of monetary transaction with other party, that is the contract, right? So you can realize by now you can realize what is the importance of the contract. A student must have knowledge about the contract and basics of that particular subject so that you can be aware of your rights and you should know how you can enter into a contract with other party. So the contract that we will be discussing, this is a law and it is being codified in Indian Contract Act 1872. So in your subject or in this particular unit, we are going to deal with contract part 1, which deals with special provisions which deals with all the principles that are necessary for the formation of the contract. And in the in further unit, like second unit and I think last unit also, there we will be studying specific contracts. In under unit 1, we have to discuss contract part 1, where we will be discussing the basic aspects of the formation of the contract and subsequent topics that are there in this contract act. They are relating to special contracts like bailment, pledge, indemnity and guarantee. Before 1930, uh, this all these provisions relating to sales of goods act, partnership act, they were part of the same law, that was Indian Contract Act 1930. Um Sorry, before that. But after that, all these laws were repealed, and now Sales of Goods Act and Partnership Act are different laws. And we are studying and we are going to study all the provisions relating to the contract in a special law, that is Indian Contract Act 1872. So by now you must be having curiosity to know what is that contract, which we don't know. And as I told you, so many illustrations. So by this you can assume, or by this you can realize that contract is playing a role everywhere in your life. So we should understand first of all what is this contract. So basically, contract is an agreement that is being made between two or more persons, whereby they are asking each other to do something or not to do something, right? So contract is simply a transaction between two parties whereby one party is asking another party to do something or to refrain from doing something, and simultaneously it is also happening from the other side. Section 2H of the Indian Contract Act 1872, which is based on the definition that was given by Pollock, says that contract is an agreement enforceable by law. So when we analyze this small definition, that contract is an agreement enforceable by law, so here you can derive two essential elements of the contract, that is the agreement, and second part is its enforceability. So we will be discussing this contract in two parts. First of all, I will try to explain before you what is this agreement, and in the next part I will also discuss with you people what is this enforceability by law. Section now, first thing that we will be understanding is agreement. So what is this agreement? It is the first step in the formation of a contract. Section 2E of the Contract Act defines agreement as every promise and every set of promise forming the consideration for each other. Say for example, uh, first of all let me explain this definition. Here you can see that it says agreement means every promise and every set of promises. So hereby we can conclude that agreement is a promise, whereby what is promise? Promise is if I will ask you to do something and in return you will also ask me to do something for you. So that's a promise whereby I am promising something to you. I am saying that yes, I will do on your saying this particular task, and you are also promising me, you are also agreeing on my thoughts that yes, whatever I am saying to you, you will agree on that point. So whatever you are doing and what I am doing, it is forming a consideration, right? So how, if I am doing something for you, then you should also do something for me. That is the consideration between you and me. So here you can see an example which says that Ramesh offers to sell his mobile for rupees 8,000 to Sham. Sham accepts this offer. It's a promise na. So Ramesh is asking Shyam to buy his phone and Shyam is agreeing on this point. So you can see both are promising, or both are agreeing to do something for each other. Ramesh is selling his phone and Shyam is giving money to Ramesh. So it is a agreement between Ramesh and Shyam. So here you can see that agreement is equal to what? Agreement is equivalent to offer plus acceptance. Offer means if I will ask you to do something or if I will ask you to buy something from me, so hereby I'm making an offer to you, right? Will you please do it for me? Will you buy this pen from me? Or will you sell your phone to me? So hereby I am just making an offer to you, right? So whenever one party will make an offer and it will be accepted by the other party, so automatically it will be treated as an agreement between both the parties. So agreement simply means that whenever two parties are coming together and they are asking each other to do something or not to do something, and both are agreeing on this point, Say for example, if you are asking me, ma'am, will you teach us? I said, yes, I will teach you. So here you are making an offer to me. Will you teach me? Will you teach us? This is an offer from your side. And if I am accepting this offer, yes, students, I will teach you law of contract. So it is what? It is an offer and acceptance. Offer from one side and acceptance of this offer from the at the another side. Both will together become a agreement. So now, uh, what are the further essentials and what are the further nuances of the contract? I will be discussing in the next lecture. Before that, I would like to discuss with you people what are the different kinds of contracts. So far, we have understood what is a contract. A contract is nothing, it's just an agreement between two parties which is enforceable by law. So, if we talk about different kinds of contracts, so we can divide contracts on different bases. So here you can see that we can divide this in on three bases: on the basis of creation, on the basis of execution, and on the basis of the enforceability. So first of all, I am discussing with you on the basis of creation how we can divide contract into different categories. So this is express contract, implied contract, right? So on the basis of creation, we can divide contract into two categories, that is express and implied contract. Express contract is one where terms are clearly stated in words spoken or written. So if both the parties, like this is offer and this is acceptance. So if this offer or acceptance, either of these two things or both of them, if they are made in written or in the oral form, so both will be what? This is express contract because both the parties are writing or they are orally accepting each other's offer. So whenever party will accept, like party will be making this agreement, that is offer plus acceptance, in oral or in writing, but it should be expressed. It should not be like which is evident from my conduct. Rather, it should be of such a nature that I am either writing it or I am or I am speaking orally these things. Next part is implied contract. So, for example, you can see here express contract example. A wrote a letter to B stating, like anything here, you can write down anything stating whether you will buy this phone from me or whether you will give me this pen. So, either I am speaking or either I am asking you to do this thing in writing form. Okay, so that will be the express contract, means whatever is there in your mind, it is coming out in your expression. Next is implied contract. So sometimes parties do not say anything. They show what is there in like what is going on in their mind. They show it simply by their conduct, right? So sometimes you must have gone through the situation whereby you will not say anything, but other party will assume acceptance from your side. So, say for example, if you are riding in a metro or you are riding in a DTC bus, so here if you are boarding this metro or DTC bus, it's an implied yes from your side that if you are riding in metro or bus, then you are obviously going to pay them, right? So now you are bound if you are if you are riding in bus, metro, or whatever it is, if you are riding in a public vehicle, or say for example, Ola and Uber. So if Ola is coming to your doorstep and if you are sitting in it, you have already booked the cab, and that was not a prepaid one, that was a postpaid one, means you are supposed to pay at the end of your trip. So here, if you will say no to the cab driver that I am not going to pay you now, when did I say that I will pay you? So here you cannot say so because it was implied in your act. If you booked the cab, if you are sitting in the cab, you are reaching from one destination to the another destination, then it's quite obvious on your part that you are accepting that particular contract or that particular offer that was made to you by this Ola, Uber, TTC, etc. So here it is what it is implied. You did not say in writing to the Ola cab driver that yes, I will pay you, please come at my destination. No, it was not like that. They just show you that it is, they will be charging this much amount, and you, if you are booking that cab, then even after seeing the, even after knowing the price, or you are sitting in this cab and you are reaching to your destination, then it is implied in your act that you are, you are willing to enter into a contract with this other party. The next is on the basis of execution. Execution means how far we are executing this contract, how we are implementing these kinds of contract. So on the basis of the execution, we can divide them into two categories, that is executed contract and executory contract. So here you must understand what is executed means, where both the parties have fulfilled their respective promises. When you went to a shop, like local kirana shop, you asked the shopkeeper, please give me a Parle G biscuit, and he gave you this Parle G, and you gave him 5 rupees for that matter, for buying this Parle G biscuit. So both the parties have already fulfilled their promise. आपने बिस्किट मांगा, उन्होंने आपको बिस्किट दिया और बदले में पैसे लिए. So that's what, where both the parties have already fulfilled their promise. Executory contracts means where both the parties are still need to perform their promises. Say for example, A agreed to sell a book to B for rupees 30. If the book has not been delivered by A and B has not paid the price, like you and me are still talking. I am asking, will you buy this phone from me? You are saying, yes, I will buy. So here both of us agreed on the same point, that I want to sell and you want to buy, but it is not yet decided when this transaction will actually take place. So this is a executory contract whereby both of us, you need to purchase my phone and I need to pay you. Like you will be purchasing my phone and you will be paying me, right? So I will give you phone and you will give me money. So that is what, that is a executory contract, because both the parties associated to the contract needs to perform some action on their part. Now we will see on the basis of enforceability in how many categories we can divide the contract. So first of all, first point is valid contract. So a contract which is satisfying all the conditions, all the requirements that are being prescribed by the law of contract or Indian Contract Act 1872. So that will be the valid contract. Okay, just a second. Please ignore this section. Next is void contract. So valid was if it is according to the law. Void means if a particular transaction is taking place whereby it is against the law. So if a contract which ceases to be enforceable by law, it becomes void automatically. It ceases to be enforceable means law takes back its effect or law takes back its support, right? So that contract will be a void contract. It will not be enforced by law. Whatsoever will be the situation, it will always be void from the very beginning. From the beginning itself, it will not have any legal sanctity, it will not have any legal enforceability. Law will never impose these kinds of contract on either of the parties. So that is what, that is a void contract. Next is voidable contract. So sometimes both the parties who are entering into the contract, one of the party may not be willing to enter into the contract with this other party. So here initially when consent of this party would have been taken, there can be any reason or there can be a number of reasons for which this other party gave his consent, like this consent was not free, and under some kind of foundation or fraud, misrepresentation, or anything outside influence, because of any outside influential thing here, that party gave his consent. So here, at any point of time, if parties came to know about the existence of such a situation, so hereby the party who is at the upper hand means who gave his consent. He is at liberty to do like fulfill his promise or not. So all the contracts which are enforced by law, only adoption of the one party, that was the aggrieved party whose consent was not taken, for free in that case. So that will be a voidable contract. And lastly, last point is illegal or unlawful contract. So now you must be getting confused here. What was void then if we are talking about illegal here? So there are some transactions which may be valid according to the law, right? According to the Contract Act, but they will not be supported by other laws. Illegal means anything which is contrary to law. So say for example, if you will be entering into a contract with a minor, so that's a void contract from the very beginning. But here, say for example, if you are selling weed to a young adult boy, so selling weed is not allowed by the law. So this is illegal contract. So and simultaneously, if there is a minor and you are like you are agreeing to sell your scooter to him, and he is a minor, so that contract will always be illegal, as well as this contract will be the void contract. So this was all about the basics of the contract and kinds of the contract on different basis. Thank you so much. In the next video, I will be discussing with you people what are the different essentials of a valid contract. Apart from agreement, what is this enforceability by law, and what are the essential characteristics of the agreement so that it can make a good contract. So thank you, class.